I'm inspecting a beautiful home that was built in 2012, and it's a pretty large home. There's 4 bathrooms, 3-stall garage, and when I came out to this area, I noticed there was a bump out that was installed afterwards. And some of the clues I'm gonna walk you through of how I figured this out. In the beginning, I see the beam, but I noticed it wasn't seated properly at the double top plate there. There's a gap at both ends. You see, the double top plate up there used to have a load-bearing wall with studs under it, and it was removed and they added the beam in there. Kind of a tricky little process because this is a load area. Your trusses are going front to back and they rest on this area here. This is the original gable end wall, and so you can see the studs go to the top and the cross member is referred as a double top plate. Okay, so as we work our way this way, here's your double top plate and obviously the beam. These metal plates right here, those are your hurricane straps. This is what actually holds the truss member in your roof area structure basically down to the house and garage structure. So this actually goes up and is strapped and anchored to the actual truss above. So as we work our way this way, you'll notice they put a few shims in there. Okay, that's, I guess, one way to correct that spot, but yeah, all the way down now, this double top plate is now not level. So as it comes over, it starts to get a little bit tighter. They put another shim in right there, a little tighter and tighter, but then it's another gap. So that was the first thing I noticed. But then, as I looked over here, I thought, okay, the laundry is in that area. This is your exhaust for the dryer. And this is an interior room beyond this wall here. That's the original building wrap when they built the home. This was the outside of the home. But you know what's missing now? Firewall. So they should have added 5/8 thick Type X drywall. It's a 1-hour barrier between the house and the garage. Now, as we look at this structural member here, they installed rafters, and when they installed them, I noticed there was some 2x4 scabs in here, and so what I did is I took out the insulation in this cavity just to see a little closer of what's going on. They didn't put the bird's beak in. Bird's beak is a term where you notch out and cut out the actual rafter so it sits on this top plate. So they have a top plate here. They didn't install the rafter proper, and they don't have the hurricane straps. So you have several improper applications going on here at this spot too. Now let's take a look at the exterior. Okay, now I'm very sure, positive, they didn't pull a permit to build this structure. All this weight load is now relying on these 4x4 poles. It's a very weak member. I would have preferred 6x6, but this is improper size, and then the way they built the flooring, well, you just basically have a floor joist hangers. Again, I would not have installed these in this format, but what's really shocking is they built it in front of the electrical meter base. This is not only a code violation, but a violation to the electrical company. They need to access that meter. Then the building wrap, I thought, well, did they put wrap behind this or not? Because it's been a requirement here in Michigan since at least 2004, 2005. So just underneath here, sure enough, just OSB exposed. There's no vapor barrier there. And then when you look at the roof areas, well, there's a thing called a kick-out or rain diverter, and it's usually installed right here. It's a component that is designed to kick water away from that location. So when rainwater is coming down and following that wall, it literally kicks it away from the siding, preventing that water from finding its way behind the siding, which could possibly create dry rot. Garage. Here's the original 2012. Here's the 2018 roof. And when they put this in, they had to get under the original roof shingles. So when they did that, they didn't do it proper. Notice how these are consistent on this line right here as it goes up. Here you can see it's inconsistent. Look at this. This pattern is way off. This is way down here. This is way up here. So they didn't even line this up properly. Look at that, this wide gap right there. You see right on down. And then whoever did put this on, they damaged the house. I'm not going to say this, but there's a good chance they chipped it. But take a look at the siding here and down here. It's cracked, damaged, and somebody drove nails right through the vinyl siding. You are not supposed to drive any screws, nails, or bolts through vinyl siding. Vinyl siding is designed to expand and contract and move around during the different climate changes of temperature. And if you attach it and it can't move and expand, it's going to start to warp. But nevertheless, this is all cracked and damaged, I'm sure, from whoever put this on. Rain diverter kick out missing.